Hello peoples, today I want to present to you the idea that I have for this car, what I want to do with it, how I want to, what I want to, how you say the build to be like. I want to show you the first step for it already, because I really like the game, Cyberpunk 2077, and the whole styling of the cars and everything of this franchise, or the idea of Cyberpunk itself. Not just that game, but the whole idea. And my idea with that car is like to build it like nothing crazy, nothing overly weird, but some things that I wanted to build anyways, build them in a style that could be, inspired by this cyberpunky kind of vibe. So one thing I want to do before I show you what I've already built is this grille. It's just held in by zip ties, it's broken, it hasn't seen its best days. So I want to build a new grille inspired by the original active aero grille that this car once had, which can flip up, let the air inside, or let the air through when you want to cool the radiator. And when the car is cool, it rotates and closes the front off so the car warms up easier. This is one part I want to build. I'm going to put in a nice drawing that I made yesterday of the whole idea. Secondly, I really would like to have some fog lights, but I don't want to do it as, it's classical to put on regular fog lights, but I once had the idea of just having one single round fog light, like right here. So my idea was using a Miata headlight bulb. And 3D printing a housing so it can sit like right here. And this would be a few things for the front. Additionally, you can see this hood completely broken here, and the air intake sits down there. So my idea was to, maybe all the way to here. From here to the same line of the headlight, maybe to this, this body line here, cut out about this much, like this, and then build a little intake scoop, and then which angles down, and kind of rectangular kind of shapes, which then lets air directly or directs air directly onto the filter. And again, all inspired by this. If you want to see where also my inspiration comes from, check out Tofu Auto Works, I think is his name, on YouTube. He builds a super cool cyberpunk inspired Miata, or has in the past. And then you understand what kind of styling I'm going for, and I think he does it really well. These are a few things for the front. For the back, for now, I designed a roof spoiler, which is going to attach here, and it's going to come up like this, just for some styling on the back. I still need to print it, but the design's already done. I can put in a picture of that. And apart from that, I don't have too many ideas for the rear yet. So if you have any cool ideas that I could do to spice up this rear end, because it's all factory, and I think the car in general is pretty round towards the bottom, so maybe some cool ideas with an exhaust, or I'm not sure what else. Oh, I just have an idea right now. I could make, but I could look weird. Anyways, if you have any ideas for the back of the car, tell me. And now to get to the part that I already built, it's this here. This is a CarPlay screen, just like a cheap one that you can get anywhere on AliExpress or whatever you want. And I wanted to mount it, and these mounts that it comes from, they're all like wobbly and you need to stick them to the window, not really my preferred way. So I came up with this design. It's mounted to the factory location where the normal clock would sit, screwed down in these places here, and then here it's mounted with Velcro tape down here as well. So it's like super sturdy and you can rock the whole dash with it. And because it sits in front of the aircon vents down here, I integrated these channels to direct one of them to the driver and the other one over here, direct that one to the passenger. And so everyone has their cooling or heating. My car doesn't have heating, so it's only cooling. And also my inspiration came from like the Toyota Supra or other cars which have the dashboard like all angled towards the driver. So this is also at a nice angle. You still have an adjustment up and down for depending how tall you are, or you know, now you can see if you're in my height, now you can see all the reflections from the rear window, so you can just take it, angle it down, and then you don't have any reflections, so it's easy to see. And yeah, it turned out really well. I designed all that based off a 3D scan from the interior of the car. And yeah, as you can see, it's made in, wait, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 pieces, because back here there's another little piece, because my printer is pretty small. But I then plastic welded it together right here. I'm gonna put in a little clip to show you how to do that, because I think it's really neat way, and it's really strong, way stronger than normal gluing for me, especially in these places where, you know, you can't weld too big of a gaps. You know, there was some warping here, but I could weld up quite a bit of the seam, which would never be like gluable with regular glue. You could use epoxy or something, tape it up and epoxy it, but this was way stronger and way more fun to do, because it actually felt like you're welding something. So let me put in the clip right here. Yeah, now that you know how that works, I think that's like roughly all for now for this video. You can see the screen is in, the cables are still not looking pretty. And actually down here, I don't know from where you can see it. Anyways, down there behind this top bar, in the middle there's a little cutout under here where this cable and this cable goes through. So there's like a cable slot. So all these cables that are attached to the screen right here, they're all gonna move here, probably gonna be zip tied to the bottom of this bar, and then they're gonna neatly be routed inside the dash. So there's not so many cables here. I don't like the cable situation currently, because this is the power supply for the screen, but I have another plug, so I wanna yeah, get rid of this. So because I think it looks a bit weird. This is the power cable for the reverse camera button, because I have the reverse camera controlled by an Arduino, because I didn't have the right button, so I made it way too complicated. But I want to put a regular button here that doesn't need the Arduino to work, to activate and deactivate the reverse camera, because sadly the reverse switch in my transmission doesn't work. So even if you put the car in reverse, the reverse lights don't activate, and yeah, the camera would also not activate. So I put in a little button to turn the camera on and off manually. And yeah, all these cables are gonna be cleaned up at some point. But yeah, that's the current state right now. I still plan on putting the tachometer that I had in the MRS right here, because the factory one is kind of yeah, has a will on its own sometimes, and yeah, I don't trust it that much. So I'll see if that one works. And yeah, I have a vacuum gauge installed because I like to have random useless gauges in my cars. This was super cheap one, but it was really fun to install because the 86 has just an like unused port at the top of the manifold. Wait, let me show you actually. Then I can also show you what I meant with this air intake. If we open the hood, the air intake sits right here. So if we have a little scoop going there, could be directed with fresh air. And as you can also see, I got my 3D printed intake wrapped in some heat tape. And as you can see, this line, this is the factory vacuum like connection. It's not the switch itself. This is the vacuum sensor, and it's directly connected to this. It's basically just like an hose adapter, which like converts the thread in the manifold to 3 connections. One going to the fuel pressure regulator, one going to the vacuum sensor, and one that was plugged off now goes to my vacuum gauge. So that's pretty neat. And as you can see, I replaced the ground cable, and I ran some more ground cables because the electrics in this car are really weird. And here you can see how it's all connected with zip ties, what I said before. So this grill is gonna get replaced, and this radiator is gonna get replaced soon as well. As you can see, it's a bit red on the top here. It's slightly leaking the tiniest bit. So yeah, I think for now, that's all they're gonna be for this video. I will keep you updated on any further projects. Next thing I'm gonna do is change the front shocks. So that's gonna be in one video. I'll bring out the video how I changed the rear ones, because they're actually pretty easy to change. Also just with minimal tools. And here you can see, even though there are few reflections, how it looks from the outside. I think it looks pretty neat. Kind of techy, futuristic. And I will try to continue that vibe through the whole car, clean everything up. And yeah, just how I said, not do any weird things that like are just for cosmetics, but everything I do, I want to do in a slightly cyberpunky way. So that's the goal for the car. So until then, I'll say thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye. And a little addition: after I finished filming the first part, I finally got ahead to install the mud flaps that came with the car. They're like original from the previous owner who raced this thing in the rallies, and yeah, went ahead and put them on. I think it looks really dope. Go a few meters away. Hard to see because like I wrapped them black because they were like, I didn't have enough wrap to wrap them all around, but you can see it was like kind of yellow. So at least the back side, each of them I wrapped, and I think it looks pretty cool. They are screwed into the fender, since normally you have these plastic inserts in here, but these were all like a bit rusted out and broken. So I slid on some of these slide-on pieces that have a nut on the back, and used some regular M6 bolts here. So it's all nice and sturdy, not going anywhere. And yeah, I really like the look. I think it looks racy, looks cool. You might notice for now the car is a bit how do you say, squatting in the front, because it's lower in the front and taller on the back. That's because I put the factory height springs, or at least longer springs, in the back to match the longer shocks that I have. Until I have the shorter shocks, then I can put the short springs in again. I talked about that in the next video, where or maybe I'm not sure how I'm going to schedule these videos, but yeah, I'm gonna change the front shocks soon, so then I'm gonna raise the front to balance it out a little bit. That's why it looks kind of funky now. But still, I really love I think the mud flaps give the car a little bit of a more like a cool, racy look instead of like all factory, so I kind of like them. Yeah, really cool. Really cool. Alright then. See you next video. Bye bye.